something the world has been anticipating for days now. President Trump just announced that he and Vladimir Putin will meet face-to-face in Alaska next Friday. President Trump posting on social media the highly anticipated meeting between myself as President of the United States of America and President Vladimir Putin of Russia will take place next Friday, August 15th, 2025, in the great state of Alaska. Further details will follow. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Now, this will be the first time in a decade that Putin has been on American soil, and that news comes on the very same day that Trump's deadline expired for Russia to agree to end the war in Ukraine. The planned punishment for missing that deadline was to be harsh economic sanctions. Instead, we have this announcement of this upcoming meeting. But the U.S. has already slapped Russia's trading partner, India, with 50% tariffs for buying Russian oil. When it comes to ending the war, the president offered some insight about a possible peace deal restoring Ukraine to its pre-war borders. Now seems increasingly unlikely.
You're looking at territory that's been fought over for 3.5 years. It's very complicated, but we're going to get some back. We're going to get some switched. There'll be some swapping of territories.
NewsNation's Kellie Meyer is live for us at the White House. Kellie, I think everybody's a little bit surprised to hear this was going to happen in Alaska.
Yeah, and we were in that room not too long ago when the president was teasing this possible announcement. He said he was going to tell us a short time from now, and he said to me that we would be very happy with the location choice. Now we know it's on U.S. territory in Alaska, but you can't emphasize enough how significant this moment is and the roller coaster ride it took to get here. You know, President Trump wanted to end this on day one. This has been something that he just hasn't been able to bring to an end. And at first, he was frustrated, we talked about, with Zelensky, the Ukrainian president. And recently, he's been really frustrated at Russian President Vladimir Putin. And now we're hearing that the two are going to meet face-to-face a week from today. The president even saying today in the state dining room when we were in there that he wanted this to happen even sooner, but because of the security arrangements, you can imagine what those might look like, it has to happen a week from now, which is even pretty quick. We were just talking with the White House official what city this might take place in, but we don't know that yet. So there's still a lot we don't know at this hour, Elizabeth. We don't know where it's happening exactly, what the security is going to look like, and what Ukrainian President Zelensky has to say about all of this, because Trump in the state dining room earlier said that he's meeting with Putin first. So I wanted to play what I had to ask him there in the state dining room, and we could talk on the other side.
Have you spoken to Russian President Putin yet? And would you go to Russia or Ukraine? And what exactly would you say to him?
We'll be announcing the location in maybe a little while, and I think you'll be very happy. We'll see what happens, right? All we can do is do our best. We've been working on this one for a long time. This is a very complicated one also. This was extremely complicated, but we made it less complicated, and we had two very brilliant people on my right and my left. They understood what was at stake. I think if it didn't get done now, it might have never gotten done. So this is the same, very similar with Ukraine. It became more and more complicated as time went on. It was simple at the beginning. Was it going to happen? But it became more and more complicated. But I think we're getting close.
So there he said to me, all we can do is do our best. So even leaving room open that this might not be the end or the final answer. He even said to a reporter in there, Elizabeth, that he doesn't like to use the word last chance, seeming to say that this may not be Putin's last chance here. And we also don't know exactly what he's going to say to Putin to get him to bring this to an end. And that's what I was trying to get at there. And in the room there, Elizabeth, was Witkoff, Steve Witkoff, who was the one that sat across from Putin in these negotiations. We also tried to ask him what those conversations looked like. You can only imagine, but he wouldn't weigh in without the approval of the White House press secretary, he said. Elizabeth.
Yeah, there are reports emerging that Steve Witkoff was presented with a plan from President Putin that he would keep all of Donbass, which is a big chunk of Ukraine there, something the Ukrainian president has not been happy with. So a lot of details. But listen, Kellie, President Putin wanted to meet in Moscow. He wanted to host this meeting. So the fact that President Trump will host it on American territory is pretty significant, yes?
Absolutely. And I even asked there, would he ever consider going to Russia, going to Ukraine? And then he replied back that we would be happy with the answer, that it's in Alaska. I think it caught a lot of people here at the White House by surprise. Many people were trying to guess somewhere in Europe. But this will definitely be interesting to see exactly where they do this, what it looks like, and just can't emphasize enough the significance of this moment, the two meeting together. And as you mentioned, the first time in just shy of 10 years since 2015 that Putin will be here. Just a huge moment and a critical moment to see if this really does bring the war in Ukraine to an end, Elizabeth.
Well, let's hope. All right, Kellie Meyer, thanks so much, live from the White House.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.